So this has been the journey together. You guys started together, or was it like you joined later after she started off?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I started it, but it was all because of the influence, or you call it the inspiration from Ram. He is my mentor. Because I'm a doctorate in chemistry, I have got nothing to do with design or the garment aspect of it. But when I decided to start this, my main aim was to start something which is sustainable,
Correct,
and that is good for the environment and chemical free. That was the ask. But I have absolutely no idea of what designing could be, or what type of fabrics, or anything related to that particular aspect of it. I was heavily relying on Ram, and he had been very kind, and he had been my mentor all through my life.
wow,
And had been educating me to understand how the fabric works, or how the processing works, and what to expect, what not to expect. And it was, thank you, Ram, it was amazing.
wow.
Yeah, I've been working with various international brands, like from the West, or from Australia, New Zealand, or any other parts of the world. And there's so much, information that I have learned from all these high-end brands. So when we decided to start our own brand, Madhu had that acumen for details and acumen for perfection. So that coupled with my knowledge
That seems so. I love that about her.
Yeah, my knowledge of the clothing and the technicalities and the marketing aspects that needed to be added. That and all coupled together gave birth to Tiny Twig.
Great. So other than Tiny Twig, what other hats do you wear?
Because I have been in Tirupur for more than 30 years now, and you know about Tirupur. It has over 4,000 factories, and we have guardian angel for the exporters of Tirupur. That's called the Tirupur Exporters Association, and together we export something like $5 billion worth of products every year. And I happen to be the chairman of the IT wing of the Tirupur Exporters Association, where we we do a lot of sustainable initiatives in Tirupur. For example, we are the first city in the world. Tirupur is the first city in the world where zero liquid discharge is implemented. Nowhere else, whether in the west or east or anywhere, that has been implemented. That means that not a single drop of water is let out into the sewage where there is pollutant present. So this is monitored by the Supreme Court, the High Court of Tamil Nadu. So it's so rigorous, but yet we are able to do that. And we've just planted 25 lakh trees in the past 10 years. So that makes last month there was a report from the government of India where the air quality is the best of all the industrial towns in India. Tirupur has the best air quality because of this tree plantation drive. So this is something I'm very much associated with.
Great, amazing. So you actually wear a lot of hats. And it's great that you guys are a great combination, and she's a doctorate in chemistry, and I'm also, what I know of when I spoke to her, she's also a good designer. So she's the one who actually works on the design of the brands a lot, so which is a great thing. And she's a mother, so she exactly knows what are the things that needs to be done and what needs to be seen, what are the pain points of parents really goes through. Right, so that's a great thing about you, and I think both of you are a great combination because you look on the design and he looks on the in terms of fabric and all that, right? So great. So I have few questions for both of you. So these questions are going to help us as well as our viewers to understand the brand much deeper. So the questions are, the first question that I have for you is, okay, so this is for Madhu. Why the name Tiny Twig, and what does it symbolize you? That's more important.
It means new growth. Tiny Twig, as it says. And it also means like offering pure start to our precious babies. I believe future is all about babies and how safe this environment going to be for the future generations to come through.
Absolutely.
I think we have to create that sustainable element of it for all the babies in the world.
Mhm.
And the whole idea of creating Tiny Twig was to offer something that's sustainable and safe for
Mhm.
babies.
Perfect, amazing. Yeah, so that's what. So how do you see other brands in the market, and how do you see that you are better off, or you have? I'm not going to take names of brands here, but I just want to say that how do you claim that you are a better brand, or you have a better product, or a better stuff that you provide to the parents? If you can just give us one or two lines
Yeah,
on that.
sure, Gagi. I think there's so many baby clothing products in market. I would say I'm not calling all of them brands.
Correct.
But as such, when you talk about brands, there are very few that you can count on your fingers, who are all like international brands, and they have been in market for many, many years.
Right.
And basically, they're all corporates.
Yes.
So how is Tiny Twig different is like it comes from the heart of a mother who is also a designer and who puts a lot of thought into how is this garment going to behave on a baby,
Absolutely.
or how is this fabric going to offer comfort to a baby. So when every time I design something, my thought just goes around how a mother feels or how a baby feels. My thought wouldn't go like how am I going to create or generate revenue out of this style.
Absolutely.
So
correct.
I'm not a mere designer who is working for a corporate, trying to bring something which is commercially viable, but a mother who is always thinking of how another mother thinks like.
Perfect.
What is that this mother wants to offer to her baby is what runs across my mind.
Does it also go back to when you had your young children? Like now they must have grown up. But when your child was a little baby, did you go through any challenges while that time, and then Tiny Twig came in your mind? Was that something like that?
Yes, certainly, Gargi. I think that's a very interesting story to share. Is like when I had my baby, I only have one boy baby.
Yes.
We were living in Chennai, and there are a lot of options when it comes to clothing. However, I always used to look around like which is the best clothing in terms of, see, my idea was not to get something high-end expensive clothing, but the idea was to get something which is nice, soft and safe, doesn't smell like chemicals, doesn't
Correct.
feel like a canvas. And it should be, most importantly, the functionality aspect of it used to scare me a lot. Is like most of the garments are to be worn on the baby from the top of the head.
That's a big challenge for little babies. It is.
Yeah,
Of
as
course.
a child, even not just as a child, even as an adult, sometimes I fear to keep my eyes closed or put something from the top of my head.
Absolutely.
And I always think, how is this going to be acting on a baby?
Yeah.
How does that few seconds of darkness is going to make the baby feel like? And that's where our whole design starts.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So basically, it stemmed from the space that you, as a mother,
Experienced.
experience certain aspects, and that's what actually stemmed. And so you have such an entrepreneurial mindset that shows here, right? So, okay, I have a next question for you. When do you think of a baby, what emotions comes first, and how did that shape?
Happiness.
Okay.
I always thought babies make you happy. But just thought, are we making babies happy? Because I don't know, but it's our mindset thinking whatever we feel, we think the babies are also feeling the same.
Correct.
But not necessarily, right? We put what we like, we feed what we like, we just do everything that we like. Then the babies should be happy all the time, which is not necessarily true.
Smiling, laughing.
Yeah, means we are doing something not so right for the babies is where the whole idea starts for me. It's like, I feel we should have respect for baby,
Absolutely.
which
correct.
is missing.
Perfect.
Right? We should always think like how a baby feels, starting from the temperature that the baby wants to be kept in, to the kind of clothing that we are going to put the baby into. The way how we feel as a human to wear comfortable clothing, baby also wants comfortable clothing.
Absolutely.
Baby doesn't want to look good, but baby wants to feel good. That's the key behind anything we do or anything we think of babies. It's only the comfort of the baby that we always think of.
Yeah, she rightly said,
Right.
like it is the respect that, like
That
we
you
show
provide to the baby.
Yeah. So when it comes to, like designing element, I see her, like spending hours and hours burning the midnight oil. And the market calls Tiny Twig clothing rightly as engineered garments. because there's so much, like
so much of time, effort, energy that
going
goes in
into-
to create something like this.
It is just not, like a colorful clothing or, like beautiful clothing or soft clothing, but she thinks about how it is to be worn onto the baby, how the baby will feel, and how the mother will feel when she is putting onto the baby and unclothing, undressing. the
Yeah,
baby.
that's so important.
So everything is, put into the thought behind the garment designing is there.
So I already asked you this question, what was the personal story behind it, which you've already shared, and I think it's a great story which makes a lot of difference, that you actually stemmed from that thought that the challenges our mothers are facing, right? Great. So now I have some questions for you, Ram. Okay, it's all about the the organic and the fabric bit of it, which I
Yes.
thought you're expert about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question is,
I can
why
go on
did
talking for hours.
absolutely you can, except the place will not give us that for so long. Okay, so I'll say, why did you choose organic fabric over conventional cotton?
Of course, organic is sustainable, and it is fantastic for the earth as well as the future generation. And when we say conventional cotton, when we say cotton, we all think cotton is natural and it is good for the skin,
Correct.
or good for all of us.
Right.
Actually, that's not the case. When you go into the cultivation of cotton, 60% of world's pesticide sprayed is on cotton fields. You won't believe that's the reality. 60% of the pesticide consumed is
60%.
is by the cotton cultivation, whatever.
Is there some research there on
of
this?
course, these numbers are verified numbers. You can check it on the internet.
Sure.
So 60% of it is a huge lot of pesticides, chemicals, which don't get disintegrated over time. They stay as it is.
Okay.
So that when sprayed on cotton, it seeps into the cotton fibers, and then when that cotton fiber is spun into a yarn and made into a fabric and then onto a baby clothing, then it stays there and it gets gets onto the skin of the baby. Right.
Oh.
So, as a matter of fact, the skin of the baby is 7 times thinner than an adult skin.
Of course.
Okay, and as the skin is the largest organ in the body. So when you wear a conventional cotton clothing on a baby, which means you are exposing the skin of the baby to pesticides which are really harmful. And the skin will absorb these pesticides and it seeps into the bloodstreams of the baby. So that is not good. Though cotton is natural, the way it is grown, cultivated is not good. So obviously organic cotton, which does not use any pesticides or harmful chemicals, is good for the baby. That is what is suitable for
Wow.
baby skin.
That's a great information. I think all viewers who are watching it can also see that there's such a great information that you're providing. And that's why you're saying organic.
Every parent
right?
should know this.
Yes.
Organic is just not a concept or a fancy
Yes, exactly.
terminology.
Exactly.
It is the need. That is what we were wearing, a few decades ago.
Decades ago, correct.
We changed in between, not knowing, what is
Synthetic
plastic,
and all
yeah.
that we started doing, right?
Yeah.
Next question to you. What does organic truly means in the context of a baby clothing? Which you I think already shared a little
Yes,
bit.
baby deserves organic clothing.
Yes.
So that is the fundamental right of the baby. I
True.
would say they cannot speak about it. They cannot demand for it.
They can
But-
only cry or shout or
okay.
that's it.
So we are only exposing the baby by not wearing organic clothing to harmful pesticides. So these are
Wow.
the things.
What certifications or standards do you follow of fabric safety?
Yes. See, organic cotton, clothing. We have a standard called Global Organic Textile Standard.
Okay.
So that is an international body which monitors and certifies organic clothing production. So this is a very strict organization which has nominated different international bodies to come and verify our place of production, the fields there where cotton is cultivated, where every process of organic clothing manufacturing, starting from organic cotton cultivation to packing, every step is being
Audited, monitored, everything.
monitored, verified, certified, and there are surprise audits also happening.
Nice.
There are stringent, rules and regulations which we need to follow, and we need to account for every bit of material that we use. to the level of grams. We have to show them how much we consume, how much we produce, how much we supply to the market. So everything has to match.
Nice. So is that other brands also take this kind of certification, or it's only Tiny Twig who's taken it on as a certification?
There are a lot of brands. I wouldn't name them.
Exactly. Let's not name
But
them.
there,
Yeah.
they claim themselves organic, and which is again it is also called greenwashing. They try to paint them green by saying organic cotton, but they do not necessarily go through GOTS.
The entire process.
Yeah, so they necessarily do not hold GOTS
It's called
certificate.
GOTS,
Yes.
right? GOTS,
Yeah.
GOTS certificate.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
GOTS certificate is something mandatory to declare yourself as an organic.
An organic. And how long does it take to take the certificate?
See, for a manufacturer of garments, it takes about 4 to 5 months to prepare yourself for that. But when you're certifying a field, organic cotton field, you have to leave the field barren, empty for 3 years
Oh,
to start with your organic cultivation, because there might be some, chemical sprayed earlier on the crops that might be still there. And so you need to leave it barren to ensure that all those phases are eliminated over time. Then only you can get into organic cultivation.
interesting.